Book and a Bev.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of A Book and a Bev. We are your co-hosts, Bryony, Ellie, Georgia, and this week we are back for part 2 of Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. Will we get through however many... We're from chapter 37 onwards. I don't know if we're going to make it, but let's find out.
Oh, dear God.
We'll give it a red hot crack. What are we all drinking to help us on our journey?
Well, I have got another form of wine. This one's sparkling. So,
Ooh,
huzzah.
oh, sparkling.
I also love it, and I will be drinking all of it tonight. So, apologies to everyone at the end of this episode. Also to Bryony and Georgia, who have to edit out my incessant chewing. Also, apologies for any of the listeners if you just end up with like a little bit of mouth saliva in your ear. That's me. I do apologise.
It's not Ellie just like slobbering in your ear, it's just her eating chips.
Yeah, it's my constant state.
All right, well, I am drinking the same thing as last week, which is vodka and Red Bull.
Oh, dear God.
And I didn't have a heart attack, for those who were wondering. I survived. And, you know, we'll see where the night takes us as to whether I survive this night.
I am still drinking my Brown Brothers Gold Moscato in honour of the nightgown, which we will finally read about.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
On that note, strapping your titties, let's go. We're diving back in at chapter 37, and we're in... Oh, God, why do we keep starting in Dorian's point of view? This poor boy is just suffering.
He's not having a grand time, is he?
He's not having a good time.
He is not.
He's not doing good, but he is still, like, in his head. He's been forced by the demon to basically watch prisoners be executed, and apparently one of them had looked at him and begged...
I don't know why it's funny.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry. It literally is nothing. I'm so sorry. Just keep going.
It's sort of like the prince inside of him forced Dorian to watch, but it's like, imagine if he was into something like fucked up like fairies, and he's just into watching them fuck. So he's like, come on, Dorian boy. And then he's just like sitting in front of the computer watching some fucked up form of porn. Jesus. And Dorian's just sitting there in the corner like, oh, dear God.
Christ, Ellie. Why?
Well,
what's wrong with my brain?
Obviously, that's traumatic, but let's just keep going with trauma, because one of the people who Dorian's watched be tortured or whatever has looked at him and
not
begged...
Not the fairy fucking torture.
Not the fairy fucking. Absolutely not. That's not torture. That's a good time. Fairies, not fairies.
No, not fairies. We like the fae. We will be fucked by the fae.
My brain keeps being like, they sound similar enough, it's fine. But it's not, in fact, fine. It's quite
quite different. And if you like one, you know.
Each to their own.
So, what I'm trying to get to is these people that are dying are being like, Dorian, no! But they're still dying. And it's Ress and Brullo, right?
You would think so, yeah, I think so. I'm like, who else would, like, personally know?
And then so, I mean, granted, he is the prince, so...
yeah, I suppose
Potato. Anyways, I think it's Ress and Brullo. That's my theory, take it or leave it. Back in Aylin's point of view, Lysandra comes to the warehouse while they're eating and gets introduced to Rowan. And we get this quote. Lysandra's smile grew. I like your fangs, she said sweetly. Aylin choked on her grape. Of course Lysandra did. Rowan gave a little grin that usually sent Aylin running. Are you studying them so you can replicate them when you take my form, shapeshifter? It's so good. It's so good.
Just finally finding out who she, like,
you're
what
like,
she is.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like cracking open that eggshell. You're like...
Yeah.
Don't slip it.
My egg out of the egg.
Giant go slip it.
It was amazing. I loved finding that out because I honestly didn't expect it. I thought she would just be a bit cunning, but no, she's just like full on can morph into whatever she wants, and I love that for her.
Animal.
Also, what would be your your preferred thing to shift into?
Look, you're gonna laugh. So I would like to clarify that for a decent amount of my life, I was a horse girl.
Mm.
And I thought it'd be really cool to be a horse and run really fast.
There are so many other animals that run fast.
Yeah.
But I was like, I really liked the Spirit movie, like, you know, the animated horse movie. It's a phenomenal film.
It is a good film. It is.
Matt Damon voiced the horse.
Really?
Matt Damon.
Oh my god, that man. What
Like,
can't you do?
But yeah, I mean, if I had to choose an animal, it would be either a leopard or a cheetah. I like both of those, but I really like the black leopards. I think they look really cool. So I think I would really like to be like one like that. I did always say growing up that one of my favourite animals was what you would call a marmoset. A marmoset?
What the fuck is that?
It's
French?
It's a monkey. And the adult monkeys are fucking ugly as fuck. But the children monkeys, the baby monkeys, are so fucking cute.
I was a really cute young child, like gorgeous. Now, absolutely munted.
Yeah.
But I think I would still rather be like a leopard
Yeah, like
or something.
now, I'm like, if I had options, like, I mean, I'd want to be a horse at least once and just like run the fuck away.
You could just do that
to
as
be
like
on
a
Saddle
cheetah
Club.
or something.
Yeah,
You're
but
like, oh, I must be on Saddle Club.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to do it for the horse girl, but also I have a lot of other options as well. Like I really liked Animals of Farthing Wood, so I'd like to be a fox.
I think I would like to be a house cat. Purely
they live
because
the best life.
yeah, it would be my life made. Someone just like brings me food when I demand it, and like they will not touch me unless I demand to be touched. They clean my shit up.
Yeah,
Like-
and then when you don't want to even touch your shit, you just flick the side of your litter tray and your little minion Bryony comes running to cover it.
Yeah, pretty much. Just human minions at my beckoning. And I can hate them. And they'd still love me for it. So
Well, I initially thought that we were talking about like what we would like to be if we were in like a book like this, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Oh, fair
I'm thinking like useful, like
Yeah,
good in
that was
warfare.
appropriate.
leopard. Bryony's like, I'd like to be a horse. I think
And
I'd
then I was like,
Brave
oh,
Commander.
horse. Okay.
I guess I could transport us.
Yeah, and then I was like, house cat.
house cat. I just want to lay
Oh
in
my
the sun.
god, Rowan could ride me in human form.
Perfect. Say less.
Oh my god. I'd be a hawk, but then they don't how do
How
question.
do hawks mate?
How do birds fuck?
For reasons.
Right. So we're here. We've learnt about Lysandra's backstory, but you know, there's a lot of trauma, so let's just skip over all of that. So Lysandra tells Aelin that Arobynn will want the vow/vag in 2 days, which is the thing that they need to kidnap for him to question. Yeah, we're all on the same page. He also wants them to stay for dinner. He's hosting them a little dinner party. Fantastic. Aelin walks Lysandra back to her carriage, and Lysandra is sorry that she didn't tell Aelin sooner about her abilities. And Aelin's like, you know, it's fine because I kind of kept like a giant fucking secret from you two. So, you know, potatoes. But there is some sort of plan forming here between the two ladies, which I'm all here for, because it means that one of them is going to kill Arobynn.
Real friends plan murders together.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And they offer each other the killing blow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. So the next day they get the invitation from Arobynn, along with a little gift in the form of some body oil. Not that type of oil, everyone.
Not going in your rectum.
Oh,
It's not.
no.
It's not for that
the
purpose.
holy oil.
Not the holy oil, no. This is just it smells like almonds. It is Arobynn's scent, and he essentially wants Aelin to wear it so she smells like him, because that will be a big insult to Rowan. And it's like, sir, you and your petty little childish games, just fuck right off.
Get fucked.
Anyway, Aelin is like, you know what, I'll do it, but I'm only doing this so I can get my amulet and just get the fuck out of here and kill this motherfucker. Eddie and Rowan are kind of like, cool. Body oil, noted. Won't provide that in invitations to group gatherings in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like a really weird move, but okay.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Georgia's got a birthday party on the weekend and she's like, hi guys, when you arrive, I'd like you to douse yourselves in my odour.
Yeah. The old
Yeah.
Muff.
In
in
my
fact.
signature scent.
Yeah. I've just actually, like, it's like my Vab juice. The old Muff Vab as you enter with my Vab juice.
Beautiful. We all must smell like George's vagina. That's actually what Arabin's done. It's just a vat of his semen mixed in with some oil, and he's like,
he just wiped into a jar, and he's like, bada bing, bada boom.
Nice and nourishing on the skin. Oh.
It's a moisturizer. Anyways.
Anyway, so Aelin and Rowan then go to find a Valg demon.
Rowan and Aelin end up going to the nest where Lorcan had killed those weird creature things. And they find out that the word hounds can be killed, which is a fun fact. And they're like, thanks, Lorcan, for showing us that. But they realise, like, in part of Aelin's scheming, we realised that there was a secondary plan, because it always is. She's always got layers and layers on her plans. And so not only did she lure Lorcan to these word hounds to see if they could be killed and to possibly take some of them out, but now the king also knows that there is a Fae male in the city, and Lorcan is just on the run because he would have sent more after him. So he's now occupado. Amazing. Love it. And while, you know, everything is happening, Aelin's plan is going to be that she plans to sneak into the sewers and blow up the clock tower from basically from the inside.
Double thumbs up.
Again, no man with a plan is needed when Aelin's around.
She is the plan.
Well, they end up capturing their Valg demon. So she's worked out in her previous dealings with the Vag that she can use the human who the Valg's occupying, their name, for information. So she's like, sir, tell me your name. And he's like, your human tongue can't say it. And she's like, no, I understand that, but the human in there, tell me what your name is. And for some reason, when I first read this, I seriously thought it was the demon who's like, okay, sure. My name's Stephen. My name's Stephen. Hi. Hello, Stephen.
I am Stephen from the cold, dark void.
Yeah. It's not, it's in fact not Steve. No. The human's name is Staven. Different, you see? Different. Not Steve the demon.
Why do I have to do that?
Stephen Demon would be a great name.
I really like that.
Staven?
It has to be... It has to be like a normal Western name, but spelt differently.
But with a twist.
Add a different letter. Just one.
Mm-hmm. But just imagine if all of the Valg were named after things like that. So, you know, you've got the Valg demon princes terrorising Rifthold called Paul, Derek, Jason.
Gary,
Tom.
Gary.
Yeah, that would have been great content. But alas, here we are. It's just Demon Stephen. And she learns that he wants to die because he's watched the Valg do terrible, terrible things inside him. And we all know where my brain went.
Absolutely,
and, yeah,
those 8 dicks.
Those 8 dicks in fairy costumes. We don't need that.
Absolutely torn
his arse in two.
Absolutely, just destroyed all of his crevices.
Poor Steve. Well, we do get this. She says to him, I am death, should you want it. Oh, that turns me on a little bit, Aelin.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Oh, hello.
Ellen!
Ellen!
Stephen's just like, oh, okay then.
It's only up the humans at the wheel now.
Yeah. And he's like, I, in fact, would like to take you up on that, Miss Death. But she's like, hang on. Game plan, Stephen, my bro. Let's just come up with some. Because I don't know what she did to, like, occupy the demon as she's talking to Stephen, but she's sort of like, shh. Go in your corners in your mind.
Yeah, it, like, brings the human forward so the demon, like, goes into its...
Oh, by saying Stephen. Right,
She'd also figured out which one, like, she'd watched a particular group of Valg and figured out who was the weakest Valg, like, which was the one that seemed the most un-Valgish. So it already had less of a fight.
The weakest of the Vag.
The weakest of the Vag.
You are the weakest link.
Oh, they have not been doing their Kegels.
Absolutely not.
Terrible pelvic floor
is in tatters.
Well, she's going to take Stephen to meet Arabin. And we're unsure what she offered him in, like, here, I'm going to take you to meet my master where you'll meet a cruel and brutal death. Yeah, not too sure why he was like, yes.
She actually just popped a tit.
Brilliant.
She was like...
Single tit.
the left one. And he was
I can
like, sat
imagine.
left.
Right, we're here.
We are here. We're here, and Aelin basically wakes up from a nightmare, and she, you know how before she was waking up from nightmares and she wasn't able to find Rowan next to her? Well, she can now, and she finds Rowan, but he doesn't wake up, so she's like, now is the perfect time for me to escape.
Run some errands. Do some quick shopping.
I'm just picturing her like reaching out in the bed for him, and she's like, "Oh yes, there he is, penis." Grabs that face long.
We don't know what she did, but when she sneaks back in, she's covered in ash and smells like smoke. So she's gone down to the local tavern, and she's had, she's played a few games of poker, whatever cards. She's had a few ciggies, and then she's gone to a bonfire. She's sung bonfire songs, and then she snuck back inside.
Had a few durries.
Had a few
Love the
durries.
durries.
Yeah, but obviously, when she gets home, Rowan's like, "Where the fuck have you been?" And we get,
What hour do you call this?
yeah, exactly. And we get this quote: "She hadn't even bothered to wear one of those ridiculous nightgowns. She must have been exhausted enough not to bother with anything other than that oversized shirt." His shirt, he noticed, with no small amount of male satisfaction. And
Don't be satisfied. And it's not small, don't you lie?
No. And then we get this. It was enormous on her. It was so easy to forget how much smaller she was than him, how mortal and utterly unaware of the control he had to exercise every day, every hour, to keep her at arm's length, to keep from touching her.
Unhinged.
Let me just say this one word. Enormous.
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 Mm-hmm.
Gigantic. Humongous. So big it could just swallow me whole.
Oh.
Eating you now?
Okay, well let's have some trauma now, everyone. Because
good.
she's asked Rowan to take her to Sam's grave.
No.
Yeah, she's
No.
Yeah. And this time we're bringing pebbles, because in Terracin they bring pebbles instead of flowers, because pebbles
In
last
honour of
forever.
us yeeting
Put your-
slaves.
Put your bonnets on.
In honour of in honour of us just pegging rocks at slaves, just in our pastime, just like, take this.
As they're sitting, like, just, yeah.
This one's for
This
you, Sam.
disenfranchised youth. So she gets there, and Rowan stands by the gates while she approaches the grave. And I'm just crying this entire scene.
We're crying
And-
from within our bonnets.
We are. She ends up telling Sam about everything that's happened. She leaves out the sexy Fae man. She just leaves those details for herself and us. And we get this quote. "Hello, Sam. I miss you every day. I miss you. And I wonder what you would have made of all of this. Made of me. I think you would have been a wonderful king. I think they would have liked you more than me, actually. I never told you how I felt, but I loved you. And I think a part of me might always love you. Maybe you were my mate and I never knew it. Maybe I'd spend the rest of my life wondering about that. Maybe I'll see you again in the afterworld, and then I'll know for sure. But until then, I'll miss you and I'll wish you were here."
What the flying fuck was that?
Pain.
That's pain and trauma.
So, do you think that Sam was Selena's, like, mortal mate?
Maybe like on a soulmate level, sure. As like humans, but he's not her mate.
Okay.
Anyway, so I am so fucking sick of not knowing shit. It's doing my head in. The amount of times I've been this close to fucking Googling, but I'm like, don't ruin it for me yourself.
You've
And I
come
haven't-
so far.
You can't ruin it now.
I can't.
You've
I
done
won't,
so
I won't.
well.
And you get so much information by the time you finish Empire of Storms.
Okay,
So you're
good.
so close.
Anyway, okay, back to this book. So Rowan then comes up beside her and she goes to explain who she's talking to. And Rowan's like, I know. And he holds out his hand for a pebble. And we get this quote. She opened her fist and he sorted through the pebbles until he found one, smooth and round, the size of a hummingbird's egg. With a gentleness that cracked her heart, he set it on the headstone beside her own pebbles.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. That broke me
Rowan,
in a lot of
like,
ways.
Rowan giving Aelin the space to have her love for Sandsteel and not being jealous or anything.
Well, from here, Rowan understands now that she's going to kill Arabin tonight once he's gone.
I thought you were going to say kill herself.
She's like, this has been lovely, but I'm off now.
Rowan understands that she has finally decided to just end it all.
Just off herself. Do you have some rope? She trots.
All right, Rowan, you stand back there and throw these pebbles at me.
I'm waiting.
She's put herself on the crucifix. Oh
my god, now she's JC.
She's JC.
All right, next chapter. We're in Aleid's point of view back at Morath, and Aleid manages to get all of the laundresses sick so that she can take over to take the laundry to the chamber. So she takes over to take the laundry down to the chambers where the Yellowlegs clan is being kept. And we get some quotes that really scare the shit out of me. And one of them is, a torch flickered ahead. Gods, it was so cold here. The stairs widened towards the bottom, flaring out into a straight descent and revealing a broad hallway. It lit with torches and lined with countless iron doors. The moans were coming from behind them.
It's a sex dungeon.
It is, but not in a good way,
Oh,
dog.
no, it is.
Second door on the left, it was gouged with what looked like claw marks pushing out from within.
Oh, yikes.
And at this stage, we find out what the fuck happened to Roland. Do you remember roll him up as a ball and put him in your vagina?
Yeah.
He was rolled up and shipped off to Morath because we get this quote. The thing that opened the door was a beautiful man, a man with golden hair and a collar around his neck, but he was not a man. There was nothing human in his eyes. So that's problematic for dear old Roland. He's not doing quite well, is he?
Yeah, and we never really, initially find out if he was a good guy or a bad guy. He was just kind of odd.
Yeah, he was just a privileged white boy.
Yeah.
Didn't do enough either way, really. But
no.
When Aleid gets out of this hallway, she's pissed herself, vomited on herself, and is in absolute shambles.
It's just an average Saturday night.
It's Georgia after reading this book.
Yeah.
Shitting, crying, pissing.
Yeah, absolutely. So much fluid. And Manon is looking at our dear old Aleid and being like, yo, what the fuck? And Aleid tells her that the Yellowlegs have already given birth and are pregnant again with their second round of things.
No.
The babies are not babies. They are demons. Black with black stone teeth. Fucked up is basically the description.
Yeah.
I'm picturing little black piglets.
I
don't know
picture the baby wordhounds.
Yeah.
Snouty, doggy,
piglets.
warthoggy.
Oh, like Spiderwick Chronicles, there's that thing with the piglet nose, and he's like...
Yeah, that one. Alright, but yeah, so they're fucked. Asterin at this stage is like, well, we've obviously got to do something about this development. And Manon is like, actually, no, that's not our orders. Asterin is basically screaming at Manon, and she pushes Sorrel and grabs Manon, drawing Manon's blood. Asterin is basically crying, being like, we need to save the witches and the witchlings. And Manon is like, bitch, didn't you fucking listen when I spoke the first time?
Yeah, did I fucking stutter?
Yeah, did I stutter?
But, yeah, so Asterin's not happy. Astrid ends up leaving, and we're all like shooketh because obviously she drew blood from Manon. And it's like, well, that's a big deal. And Manon feels the blood running down her arm and is like, this blood feels oddly familiar. So that's super fucking weird.
That's a really odd sensation, Manon. Why are you just talking about blood out here?
Yeah. Unusual.
Also, have you never bled before?
Yeah. Weird.
I feel like you know more than me in this moment of time.
No, I feel like we know the same amount. But
yes.
I just think it's really...
George is leaning into it.
I love leaning into it.
I'm now second-guessing everything. It's great.
You never feel safe, even once you finish.
Nah.
Oh, great.
So Alid wraps Manon's wounds after Astrid and Sorrel leave, and Alid tells Manon about her hope that Aelin Galathinius will save her. And she tells her about how her mother sacrificed herself for the kingdom, and she still has hope that she will find Aelin once more, which is really sweet. Manon ends up asking Alid if she thinks that monsters are born or made, and Alid is like, I don't know, bro, but my thoughts don't really matter, you know?
You need to figure that out yourself.
Yeah.
Do some soul searching, watch some TED Talks.
Yeah.
Go
to like a camp.
Go on a retreat.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, read some self-help books, you know.
Go on a school camp with some 7-year-olds.
Why?
That will show you the way.
Look, next chapter, and Aelin is preparing for her evening with Arabin. And she's in the bathroom staring at the oil, aka the Arabin Vab juice. And that seems very stressful. Rowan comes to check on her, but she's like, get the fuck away. I'm dealing with it. While Aelin is in fact dealing with it, Rowan and Aedion decide that if Aelin gives them the order, they will kill Arabin, and Aedion will get the killing blow. That's friendship.
Love that.
But they're like the bromance version of Aelin and Lysandra talking about how they're going to murder people. I love it.
Yeah, and like imagine having like just her whole court, like just imagine having them all.
That's
like,
my
really
why choose. It's actually just the entire court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get court whores now. I get it.
You get the tiny whores.
Yep.
I'd be a tiny whore for them.
Oh,
yeah,
I would be
absolutely.
the tiniest of whores.
Well, you are in fact quite small.
I am. I'm a small girl, but
Small
spelt
girl.
SMOL.
OL.
Small.
So, Aelin is ready to go. She struts down the stairs, and Aedion's like, oh, Jesus. She is wearing that black and gold gown. You know, the one that
Is on the back of the book?
Rowan fingered?
The dress.
The dress.
The dress. We have a quote. Let's describe it for you all. The black velvet hugged every curve and hollow before pooling at her feet, revealing each too shallow breath as Rowan's eyes grazed over her body. Down and then up to the hair she swept back with golden batwing-shaped combs that rose above either side of her head like a primal headdress. To the face she kept mostly clean, save for a sweep of kohl along her upper eyelid and the deep red lips she's painstakingly coloured.
I'm so fucking gay. It's actually unbearable right now.
Feel the heterosexuality leave my body.
Yeah, it's gone.
See, I'm not, because I'm just like, I am Aelin. At this point, we're one and the same.
Yeah, Ellie's like, I look great.
I look great in this dress. Anyway, we have another quote. Well, this isn't a quote, this is our quote. Rowan turns around and basically has an aneurysm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Trademark. We have this quote. With the burning weight of Rowan's attention upon her, she turned to show them the back, the roaring golden dragon clawing up her body. She looked over her shoulder in time to see Rowan's eyes again slide south and linger. Slowly his gaze lifted to hers, and she could have sworn that hunger, ravenous hunger, flickered there.
Enormous, ravenous hunger.
He could literally just put me on the platter on nom 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 nom.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that scene in Sex and the City when Samantha is the sushi platter The toy boy. That's me.
Yeah.
So they leave this super hot magic moment and they arrive at the keep. And Aelin is shitting bricks. Arabin opens the door and he's like, wowzers, you look great. And you smell like almonds. Yummy.
Yeah.
And then he's introduced to Adian, and Adian's like, I don't give a single shit about you right now. And then he's introduced to Rowan. And we get this absolutely iconic moment. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Put your bonnets back on.
So we get this quote. You can call me Rowan. That's all you need to know. He cocked his head to the side, a predator assessing prey. Thank you for the oil, he added. My skin was a little dry. Arabin blinked, as much surprise as he'd show, and it took her a moment to process what Rowan had said and to realise that the almond smell hadn't just been coming from her. He'd won it too.
They both smell like Arabin's jizz.
Yes. Yes.
That's solidarity. If you've got to smell like your ex-abuser's jizz, I'll do it with you.
I loved every moment of that.
Oh my god, my skin's a little dry. Fuck me up, Rowan. Jesus. Flash forward, and we're in Rowan's point of view as they're walking into the keep. Rowan is not doing that great because all he wants to do is, like, kill this motherfucker right now. Arabin takes them all down to the dungeons and decides to put the little rogue present in a particular dungeon. And we realise it's the same space where he had put Sam's body.
Not the body.
When that whole traumatic scene where Selena got on the table and lied with his corpse, that. So she's back in that room.
So that's awesome. Just Trauma Tuesday.
That's super good. Arabin then dismisses Adian and Rowan, and Aelin is like, yeah, that's fine. Like, well, let's just get this done. And so then Arabin starts interrogating the Vulg, and they learn, quotations, bunny ears, that blood is what links the Vulgs under the king's command. So you do like a little scratchy scratch, and then you put the ring on, and you say some words, and bada bing, bada boom, when you know you're done. You're a vag now.
You are. It's like Simba vag.
You are the vag.
It is. It's like period blood links them. Oh, they're synced with their periods.
Oh, they're synced.
They're synced.
That explains everything. The demons. Yeah. So then when Arabin has decided that he's got all the information he can get, he kills the Valg and they go up to dinner, because that seems like a very good after-torture thing to do.
Torture appetizer, as they call it.
Yeah. Entree is decapitation.
Yeah. A little bit of torture.
Main is a nice pumpkin sage risotto.
Oh, we'd love a pumpkin risotto.
Fuck it up. So during dinner, Arabin is like, what's happening, y'all? Like, what's new? And, like, Rowan and Aelin are having, their mind combos again. And we get this little tidbit. Are you ready? Rowan is like, you would have scandalized him with your night clothes, even that dress you have on. And Aelin says, he would probably have been more scandalized to learn that I'm not wearing any undergarments beneath this dress. The table rattled as Rowan's knee banged into it.
Obsessed.
Obsessed.
He is literally like, oh God, shit, oh God, oh, scandalized.
Oh, this banter, I'm living for it.
Everything. It's so good.
Nothing gives me serotonin more than this banter.
I know, it's so beautiful, and like it's just like it's raw. Like you're right there with them. She's like trying purposely, and he is like trying so hard not to react. That like this sudden movement of just his knee banging into the table, it just is everything. Obviously, Arabin picks up on this little interaction when it happens and is like to Aelin, well, this is the perfect time to call you up on your bullshit. Did you have fun destroying all my investments over the last few weeks? And everyone's like, what's been going on? What's been happening?
So, Aelin's then playing dumb, but Arabin is like, I know it was you, you sneaky sausage. And we basically learn a snowball of information about how Aelin has been destroying Arobyn's shit slowly. So she dressed up as one of his men the day she rescued Aedion and stole 2 carriages.
That's Cormac.
That is Cormac.
Cormac, yes.
Who we actually meet at the end of this book, by the way.
Sarah just doesn't drop a name for no reason. Like,
yeah.
he's named for a particular... He's linked somehow. Anyway, she dressed up as Cormac when she rescued Aedion and stole 2 carriages of their business that they owned together, which led to Cormac having to flee Rooftop because he was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. And dragged Arobyn's name through the mud. So
yeah.
Added bonus.
After, like, all of this is unearthed about what she did, they end up going to have a little private chat about negotiations about what she actually wants and why she's orchestrated all of this. They're both stepping up and he's like, what will it take for you to stop being such a pain in the ass? And she's like, well, the amulet. And I also would like a men to come help me kill the king. And, like, Arobyn doesn't even bat an eye. He's just like, well, what's in it for me? They end up agreeing to meet tomorrow. But then as she goes to leave, Arobyn slips the ring that he stole from the Valg onto her finger. And when I tell you, my heart fell through my asshole when I read that. Oh.
Not through your asshole.
Right on through.
Oh my god. Next chapter, and we're still in this horror show. Arobyn commands Aelin to tell him that she loves him, and she does. Big yikes. And then he sends her home with a little pat on the tush and says, come back tomorrow, we've got plans to do. She's like a zombie, and the whole carriage ride home, they're dead quiet, waiting until they're in private to figure out what the fuck just happened. And they get into the warehouse, and then she's like, well, what a twist of events. You've been punked.
Where's Ashton Kutcher?
And he just jumps out of a box and he's like, hello. She takes the ring off, and apparently Lysandra had helped her make a fake ring. Arobyn didn't suspect a thing. Life is great. She needed to know basically that Arobyn was all evil. There was no redeeming him. Rowan and Aelin are then evaluating the amulet she's got, aka a word key. Woo! But they're worried because it is also a word key. It seems very stressful. Aelin especially is worried, like, if it's going to make her evil. And Rowan's like, don't stress, girl. Like, you'll be right. I got you. Aelin made a replica of the amulet just in case anyone asks where it is, so she puts the real one under some floorboards in a nice little hiding space, and the other one just, like, on the counter next to the car keys.
Yeah. So Rowan goes to look for her later in the night, and it ends up that she's standing on the roof in the rain in her dress, like all good Taylor Swift songs. We learn that she asked Lysandra to kill Arobyn, and she also says that she feels weird because she wishes there was another way, but there just isn't. And, well, Arobyn is a shit cunt, but he basically saved her life.
Just conflicted.
So, conflicting feelings, trauma, kill the love of her life. Yeah. Is he daddy? Is he... we don't know. We don't know.
Stockholm syndrome.
It really is. So she ends up telling Rowan to hunt down Lorcan tomorrow to see if he has killed the wordhounds. And she gives him the choice to kill him or not, because she's like, I know he's kind of like in your cadre, but kind of not really anymore. So, like, you do you. Yeah. Up to you, my love. Feel the vibe out. Feel the vibe out. I've never said that before.
Feel the vibe out.
Feel the vibe out.
Oh, I like that. That could be a tattoo. Oh, dear. Well, they end up holding each other and they snuggle in the rain. Again, Taylor Swift. And she cups his face and realizes she wants him and is tired of waiting. And we get this quote, friends, but more. So much more. And she'd known it longer than she wanted to admit. But when she goes to make a move, he growls at her and pushes her away and is like, don't touch me like that. Oh my God. My heart is broken. I know he's only doing that because he can't control his own feelings and it's going to be like too hard for him.
And he's scared.
And she's freaking out and apologizes. But Rowan, she wants to fuck you. Please. Sir, you love her. Just do this for me. Please, just fuck her for me.
Honestly, it was the most distressed I've been. This moment.
Yeah.
Fuck Sam.
Fuck Sam.
Fuck it.
Don't touch me like that.
Oh, feral.
No.
We go from that, which just fucking kill me now, and we flash to Lysandra. And this is going to make me feel better because death. And she's low-key like, whoa, this is really happening, you know? And she, like, grabs her dagger. She's sitting in bed next to Arabin, bear in mind. And
well, he
she's
snores because he apparently fucked her really roughly while
ew.
being happy with the events of this evening.
Ew.
He's known her since she was 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. Not all gravy, baby. She grabs her dagger and she's thinking about Sam. She's thinking about Aelin. She's thinking about Wesley. And we then get this quote. She would find that love again one day, and it would be deep and unrelenting and unexpected, the beginning and the end and eternity, the kind that could change history, change the world.
Oh.
And then she slits Arabin's throat.
Fuck it up, sis.
And then I'm pretty sure she just sleeps next to him, just listening to a gargle on his own blood.
Yeah, she's like, this is a beautiful lullaby.
It's just like, okay. And that's the best sleep she's had in all of the years.
Yeah.
Oh my
Best
God.
sleep.
Fucking love it.
Vicious. And I love it.
Then the next chapter is literally just a Dorian POV.
Oh,
And
Dorians.
no one is surprised that the demon who's taken over his body is torturing another man, and Dorian basically doesn't have the choice but to, sit back, crack open a beer and watch the show.
Keep on keeping on.
Back in Aelin's point of view, and she is low-key freaking out over what happened with Rowan, but she's got bigger fish to fry because Arabin is dead and she's just been summoned by his 3 big assassins to the keep. And she turns into Selena Sardothian one last time, and Aedion and Rowan are just sitting there oh, she can just become a whole different person.
She's like, don't get in my way. And they're both just like, oh my God, you're scaring me. And then she just kicks in some doors. I love when people kick in doors.
We love the
Obsessed.
kick in the doors.
Love the kick in the door. We get this quote, one last time. You have to wear this mask one last time, and then you can bury Selena Sardothian forever. She waltzes in and puts on the performance of her life. Everything is going to plan, and it's Clarice, which is Lysandra's boss, just sitting there with Lysandra, who's covered in blood. They're scared and sad. She's like, what the fuck is Clarice here? And they're like, oh, we're actually just here because the master of the bank is going to come and read Arabin's will really soon. So we're just going to stick around. And I love we get this quote where she's like, did I ask for your God's damned opinion, Clarice? And it just makes me think of if you've watched How I Met Your Mother and it's Robin with Patrice.
Oh my God, that is my favourite. Yes.
Oh my God. But yeah, that's the vibe I got and I loved it. The master then reads Arabin's will. And oh my God, Arabin has named Selena as his one and only beneficiary of his estate. She's now the Queen of Assassins. Another name for the list.
Yeah,
and
fuck it up.
then he also left a small sum to Clarice just to pay off his debts. So oh gravy baby. Everyone is absolutely shooketh. Aelin is well, since I am the woman of this house, get the fuck out. And kicks the other 3 assassins out. They beg her to stay. They're we don't have anywhere else to go. And she's well, if you can get the money together, I'll sell you the guild. I'll just hand it over. And so they run off trying to get it. Rowan is absolutely stressed about how Aelin can switch personalities it's no big deal. And he's I'm obviously a huge idiot for reacting the way I did last night. But of course he doesn't communicate that. And
No, because he is a man.
He is a man. We can't just say it. So instead we get this quote. Rowan didn't know what to make of it. A whirlwind of hate and rage and violence. That was what she'd become. And none of these piss-poor assassins had been surprised. Not even a blink at her behaviour. From Aedion's pale face, he knew the general was thinking the same thing, contemplating the years she'd spent as that unyielding and vicious creature. Selena Sardothian. That was who she'd been then, and who she'd become today. He hated it. Hated that he couldn't reach her when she was that person. Hated that he'd snapped at her last night, had panicked at the touch of her hands, and now she'd shut him out entirely. The person she'd become today had no kindness, no joy.
It's because you didn't fuck her, Rowan. That's why.
You
That's
should have
what
just
happens.
fucked her.
All you
You
had
should've.
to do, Rowan, was go, I'm sorry, maybe not tonight.
Look,
And
I've
that
got
would
a
have been
headache.
fine.
All he had to do was unbutton his pants. That was it. He didn't need to say words. He just needed to flop it out, and she would have been message received.
Loud and clear.
It is flaccid. Today's not the day. Well, we leave Rowan's flaccid dick behind, and Aelin obviously goes, wouldn't you know it, this is actually another Aelin scheme and you have again been punked. I switched the wheels. All those times I was at the bank, you know, that's what I was fucking doing. She's a visionary. We look at Arobyn's corpse and go, wow, Lysandra really, like, she went to town on him. Aelin does a double tap because, again, always double tap. Behead your corpses, and Arobyn is done.
Dead.
Then we're in part 2 of Queen of Shadows. Part 2 is called Queen of Light.
So, this chapter, Manon is still thinking about how Astrid had screamed at her, and she did end up punishing Astrid for her disobedience, but she still can't stop thinking about it. She's like, that is really unusual for one of my witches to act out in such a way. The Duke ends up summoning Manon and asks her for another coven, and this time he wants a Blackbeak coven. And then tells her that he has a mission for the 13. So on the mission, the Duke, Vernon, Cowtain, and like other people are riding with the 13 to this village in the White Fang Mountains. And when they get there, they're like hovering above the village, and the Duke orders Cowtain to burn the village with her shadow fire. Cowtain does majority of this, but then like starts convulsing. So super weird vibes. And then he basically is like, all right, Manon, go down to the ground and end it. And she doesn't basically want to know what the 13 think of her because she can like feel them staring at her, like waiting for her to be like, fuck you, we don't take orders from you, you fucking little cunt. But she doesn't. She just does what she's told, you know? She orders Abraxas to get down, but even he hesitates.
Yeah.
Even he is like, I'm
I don't
unsure
want
about
to do
this. Yeah, but she ends up going down, and of course the 13 follow her because, you know, that's what they do. And then the slaughter begins.
But we'll leave that there because now we're back with Adian and Aelin and
the Scooby-Doo gang.
yeah, we're back with the Scooby-Doo gang. And Adian is shook that Aelin kept secrets from them. And it's like, why are you surprised at this point, sir? But we have a quote. That sounds a lot like I have more secrets that I'm going to spring on you whenever I feel like stopping your heart dead in your chest. But her answering smile told him he would get nowhere with her. He couldn't decide if it charmed or disappointed him.
Yeah, look.
That would be really difficult. I'd love the surprise, but I'd also, if I cared about someone and they were just pulling this shit out, I'd just be like,
And she's not good at delegating.
She's not.
She will always try and do it herself.
It's because she's just had herself to rely on.
Yeah, she's had no one else before. Why would she start thinking she's going to have someone now?
So she tells him her plans are to destroy the king, kill Dorian, and bring back magic. So just a short list. We can
Easy
just wrap that
errands.
off on a Tuesday. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We get some cute cousin love, but not in that way, because she doesn't want to risk anyone's life but her own, which is just like, oh. But Adian's like, too fucking bad. You're my queen. If you go, I go. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. And Rowan's like, I'm already a bird, so
catch the fuck up, Adian. Where's your wings?
Where's your wings, sir? By the time she crawls into bed, Rowan is already like in his own head, mulling things over. He's like, I really should have just flopped out my pain. Now we're in this weird situation. Here we are. And then she strolls on out of the dressing room in a nightgown, and he almost dies. We have a quote. Her scent hit him as she unbound her hair and nestled into the pile of pillows. That scent had always struck him, had always been a call and a challenge. It had shaken him so thoroughly from centuries encased in ice that he'd hated her at first. And now that scent drove him out of his mind. They were both really damn lucky that she currently couldn't shift into her fae form and smell what was pounding through his blood. It had been hard enough to conceal it from her until now. Adian's knowing looks told him enough about what her cousin had detected.
I love this. I love
Adian's just like,
you want to fuck Aelin, and she doesn't know.
Literally.
Amazing.
Which also,
Amazing.
at this stage as well, we have had, when we were in Adian's point of view, we had his mental commentary being like, Aelin's not picking it up, but I know.
I know.
He's like, you know what? He is beautiful. I would go there too.
He heard what Rowan said on the roof because the walls are really thin in this apartment, which is unfortunate for Adian.
It is. So he says, sorry for snapping at her. And she's like, look, it's fine. But we all know when a woman says it's fine, it is most definitely not fine. His internal monologue tells us that he cares for her and that scares him. And that's why he can't go further with her. And it's like, please.
Boo.
Story as old as time. I understand that your former lover, pregnant woman that you thought was your mate, but she really fucking isn't, Rowan. Listen to me.
Was his mate, in fact.
No, she's not. In my book, they're not. I know that hurt him deeply. I realise that, but Aylin's not her because Aylin is his mate.
And Aylin
die
is
together.
in fact not dead.
And she's not dead either. She's quite alive and her breasts are ready for him if he is ready with his peen.
Her breasts?
I just motivate her to use his dick.
With his dick. He's like...
Oh my goodness.
All right. The next day,
dear.
Lysandra and Aylin dress up as like high society women and go to find out information about the shadow markets and opium dealers, weirdly enough. Apparently people escaped to the catacombs under the sewers, so that seems like it's super cool.
Super cool.
There's some casual conversation that like Lysandra might like to turn into like a ghost leopard when magic returns. Super interesting. So then they go to the sewers and we find out that the opium dealer also sold hellfire, and that's what our girl wants to use to destroy the clock tower. I love these bits where Aylin says stuff and Rowan's just literally fighting for his sanity because she scares the living shit out of him. We get this quote where she's like, did you know that in addition to dealing opium, this man was rumoured to sell hellfire? Rowan whipped his gaze to her. Like, I really just love her just destroying this man's sanity.
Literally, he cannot cope.
No, he survived for 500 years, no longer. We also learned that the opium dealer was killed 2 days ago by the king. So, hellfire up for grabs. Sounds super fun.
Free hellfire on the corner of the street. So when they're in like this tunnel, they basically find like terrible sins written all over the place. It's like a tomb type thing.
It's giving me like bone carver vibes because there's all these confessions carved into bones.
Oh, it is.
Remember he used to carve?
Oh, that makes sense. See,
Is this another?
And like, mind you, this is the tomb of a truth god, not a death god. But it's very similar, Sarah.
it is similar.
And I don't like it. I don't trust
Interesting.
anything that Sarah does ever.
Yeah.
I love that you went there and I went to, it's just dictation written on the walls everywhere.
Fuck's sake. So Aylin basically thinks that Goldrin could have been blessed by a truth god or sin eater, as they said. And when Aylin approaches the dais, some weird secret door opens and like word marks appear. So awesome, cool.
Yeah, seems super chill.
Yeah. The word marks basically describe the war between the first king and queen and the vowed king, Erewhon. And it's not the story that they all know. No, it's a story that they put Erewhon to sleep instead of killing him, and that they buried him under Morath. So
Which
that's
seems very
awesome.
interesting.
So you remember how like Elena was like being super like real shady? Yeah.
Elena had
Shady.
reasons to be shady. She was just saying, I did a thing, and she did not.
Yeah, no. So
She did
now
not
they
cash that check.
No checks were cashed. Now they basically think that the king is planning to awaken Erewhon and is preparing an army for him to lead when he arises.
We're back in the witch's point of view, and Manon is holding a council meeting with the 13. She wants to know what coven she should pick to be impregnated by demons. And they're like, nope, we would rather never have the waste than nominate a coven for this. But before they can continue with this like heated debate, a blonde-haired man walks in wearing a collar. Hello, Roland. What are you doing here?
Big yikes.
He's just rolled himself up into a bowl and come up into the area and he's like, what's up, bitches?
He just appears.
Yeah.
He falls out
The
of one
vag-
of their vaginas.
Like, "Poof, I've been here the whole time.
Surprise! Here I am. You remember that tickle? That was me.
And like, oh my god.
That wasn't a straight pube, it was my hair.
Roland nearly hands the witches their asses. They only just managed to break free. And he's switching between the demon and himself, and he's begging Manon to kill him. And she does, but before she can, he screams at her to get away in his demon form, and he like looks in her eyes, which seems like weird flex, but okay.
Super unusual.
Yeah. So the darkness that the demon tried to use to defend himself only affected some of the 13. The ones with blue or brown eyes, but the ones that weren't as affected have like black eyes with gold flecks. And I mean, Manon, she's just even better than that. She's got gold eyes just in general. Apparently, golden eyes are sacred for black flecks, and no one's known why, but you know, I think this might be it.
I have a feeling.
Manon then approaches Kaltane to try and get some information from her, and Kaltane says that the Shadowfire is her own. Kaltane then burns Manon with the Shadowfire, and Manon almost screams in pain. And then Kaltane's like, lol joke, you were in my space, take it back.
Yeah.
Peace out, A-Town.
So our girl and the Scooby Gang are leaving the Sin Eaters Temple, aka Dictation Temple. And Nez of the Rim appears. Oh, we haven't seen her in a while. Hi, Nez of the Rim. And, well, she's gotten word from our dear friend Ren that the king is sending witches and wyverns and a whole damn army to Morath. And it's like, oh, that's probably not good news.
Mm-mm.
So Aelin sort of just storms off. She's got a lot going on in her brain. Another thing's just been added to her never-ending mental load, and the men don't seem to be taking anything on for themselves. Look, we can all relate. We can all relate to that, Aelin. Rowan's just catching up to her like, stop. And she's like, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Without me telling you. I need you to do something. Take something off my list. Even though I won't actually let you take anything off my list because I control and plan the list. Anyway, well, she's stormed off. And Neckman, Lorcan's there with a knife to Aelin's throat. So not ideal.
Not gravy, baby.
And Rowan slips into his lethal, calm rage, which is Bryony's favourite place to be.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
And Lorcan begins to explain that the ring that Aelin gave Maeve, remember when she was like, here, have a ring and I'll take Rowan? And she's like, yeah, you can have Rowan. Off you fuck. Yeah, well, it turns out that was kind of important. That ring gives anyone who wears it immunity from being infested by vag demons named Stephen.
They avoid getting penetrated by the 8 dicks.
Yeah.
They do.
It's actually I was going to say it's an 8-pronged condom, but there's still penetration there. Chastity belt is more effective.
Oh, an 8-pronged condom. Interesting.
The queen of the 8-pronged condom.
Condom. I'm just trying to think feasibly how that would work. Would they all have to like
Is it like a giant
the entrance
balloon?
and then... See, I'm picturing it entering like this, just like one big straight one, and then once it's in, it just expands.
Oh god.
It's like,
That would absolutely washing machine up your inside.
it would.
Not the washing machine.
It would.
Yeah, your small intestine becomes your large intestine. Everything's just like,
Shimmied around.
okay, let's not go there
Shimmy.
anymore.
No,
Interpretive dance.
Shimmy those intestines around from the
Plie.
giant penises.
Up into
Into
fifth.
fifth.
Shotay away. So Lorcan ended up stealing the fancy ring because he wants to get the word keys and destroy them so he can protect his queen. Because he knows that if Maeve had the word keys, she'd turn into Erewhon herself, just with like magic Maeve power. He knows that that would destroy her. So out of love, he wants to take them and destroy them before she can do so. Hence why he needs Aelin's word key. So he's like, look, I'm going to give you some time to consider it. I'll take my knife away from your throat. You can carry on with your day. When they get back, we do get this quote. He could have killed her. All she had been able to think about, in spite of her kingdom, in spite of all she still had to do, was the fear in Rowan's eyes.
Oh my god.
Because they're mates. So she's going to tell him, if they're not, I'm going to write a letter to Sarah. I will not be amused.
Dear Sarah.
He's got a mate. She's just dead.
It's a lie. It's all a lie. Fake news.
Oh my god.
She's going to tell him how she feels, and we are all dying inside because, yes, please do.
Please
do.
Oh my
Please.
gosh. But like, we go to Rowan and he's not doing very well. He basically feels like he failed her because Lorcan was that close to killing her. She obviously says that he didn't. He pins her beneath him on the bed and we're like, oh my God, it's happening. And he basically says that he would have given up anything and everything for her safety, not his safety, for her safety.
He's like, I need to be okay. Fuck you.
Fuck you. And then we get this fucking quote. Now, everyone get your bonnets.
Bonnets.
Oh, God.
Yeah, fucking up Ellie's hair today.
It just comes out in like a little tuft.
Okay, here we go. I've missed you. When I was in Wendelin, I lied when I said I didn't. From the moment you left, I missed you so much I went out of my mind. I was glad for the excuse to track Lorcan here just to see you again. And tonight, when he had that knife to your throat, I kept thinking about how you might never know that I missed you with only an ocean between us. But if it was death separating us, I would find you. I don't care how many rules it would break. Even if I had to get all 3 word keys myself and open the gate, I would find you again. Always.
Because
I'm not
they're
okay.
mates.
Oh
my
my
God.
God, it's so beautiful.
Unhinged.
And then, obviously, she lets him near her throat with his canines to show him that she trusts him fully. And in doing that, they're getting a bit hot and steamy, if you know what I mean.
And poor Aiden in the next room with the thin walls is just like, oh my God.
But Rowan he's doing the good thing. He's like, no, not yet. And we get this quote, which is,
You're Rowan, I'm Aiden, okay?
I want to take my time with you to learn every inch of you. And this apartment has very, very thin walls. I don't want to have an audience when I make you moan, Aylin.
It does have thin walls. Poor Aiden.
Oh my God, he could make me moan any day of the week.
Yeah, any day, anyone around. I'm
In front of
nominating
everyone, in
myself.
fact. Just take me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rundle Mall.
Yeah.
Here I am.
On the balls. On the pigeon.
On the balls. On the back of the pigeon with Rowan.
Next chapter, and we are again in our poor traumatized Dorian. He is not okay, but he's learning to like the taste of men's pain and fear. That seems problematic. Then we go from Dorian's point of view, we're in Manon's, and Manon is being sent to Oakwold Forest. Super interesting. And then we have this chapter just sprinkled all in there in Cowtain's point of view. Turns out Cowtain has been playing a reverse, and she ate that demon dick right on up, and now it's just her.
She's just gobbled that dick up.
Gobbled that dick. All 8 of them gone. Absolutely
Gone.
gone.
Demon Stephen did not have a chance.
No.
He was
No.
like,
So we get this quote. The prince inside her did not notice when she began to nibble at him. Bit by nip, nom nom nom.
Bit by nip. Nom nom nom.
not the nips. I feel like he'd noticed that.
It's just come up, crawled up his front.
Oh. Stephen's just like, oh, ow.
Bit by bit, she stole morsels of the otherworldly creature that had taken her body for its skin, who did such despicable things with it. The creature noticed the day she took a bigger bite, big enough that it screamed in agony. Before it could tell anyone, she leaped upon it, tearing and ripping with her shadow fire until only ashes of malice remained, until it was no more than a whisper of thought. Fire. It did not like fire of any kind.
And it doesn't also like protection. She's just turned into a giant condom and has just smothered him to death.
Absolutely gagged him with it. So we get this other quote, which is, the collar remained around her neck and she let them order her around, let them touch her, hurt her. Soon enough, she would find true purpose, and then she would howl her wrath at the moon. She'd forgotten the name she'd been given, but it made no difference. She only had one name now. Death. Devourer of worlds.
Fuck
it up, Cowtain.
Literally.
Okay, we're back with Rowan, and he's woken Aylin up in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Someone has broken into the warehouse. Uh-oh, it's Evangeline, the tiny child, the tiny whore.
The tiny whore.
She has returned, and she's not in a good way. She's crying. Apparently, the king's men came and took Lysandra away. Lizzie.
Took our bestie.
Took the ghost leopard away because Arabin had told them that she was shapeshifter before he yeeted. I know, the horror. And Aelin is freaking out. Rowan picks up Evangeline and is soothing her with, like, words of comfort. I don't know why I'm stroking my
The
boot.
words of affirmation.
Keep the vibe.
Keep the vibe. Keep the vibe good.
Oh my god.
Imagine if that's it. It's just literally like reading off motivational posters. Live, laugh, love. Oh dear. No. So he's looking after it and it's beautiful. My ovaries are hurting. Aelin approaches Kale and Nez of the Rim and is like, look, we need to get her out. Kayla's like, we're better doing something else. And Aelin looks at him and then looks at the scars that she left on his face when he led Nehemia to her death and is like, no, we need to get her out. And then Kale's like, oh, fuck, yeah. Oops. Nez of the Rim answers for him and she's like, we will get her out then. And it's like, he needed a woman to be like, yeah, we're going to go do this job because it's kind of important because it's life or death here, Kale. And he's like, yeah, okay, right, I'm on board. Sign me up, let's go.
They're planning the rescue mission and they decide that they will not engage the king. The only plan is to get Lysandra out. And when Aelin and Rowan are in bed that night, she thinks it was foolish to even start down this road when every other man she had let in had left some wound in one way or another, accidentally or not. And Rowan, like, watches these thoughts in her face and is like, I would absolutely love the opportunity to change your mind on that.
This might just be one of my absolute tip-top favourite moments in the entire fucking series, all right? The entire series. So they're teasing each other, going back and forth, and we get these two little gems. So Rowan says, I'll even let you decide how I tell you, with words or with my teeth and tongue. It is, in fact, getting hot in here. Yeah, it is.
It's steaming. It's my undercarriage.
It is the undercarriage. And then we go and get this. She gently scraped her nails across his collarbone, marking him, claiming him, before leaning in to press her mouth to the hollow of his throat. Aelin, he groaned. Aelin says, too bad. She was still smiling when the mattress shifted, steady footsteps pattered towards the dresser, and the sounds of splashing filled the room as Rowan dunked the pitcher of cold water over himself.
Oh, oh my god.
I am just
amazing.
Screaming.
So after their little half sexcapade, that's not a sexcapade, the mission begins. And they end up trudging through oak-walled forest and they see the witches. Aelin notes that the smallest Wyvern has had his head buried in flowers. Abraxos has got his socks on today and he is looking mighty cute.
He's like, I just imagine like sitting on his stomach looking at the flowers with his little legs up behind him with his little socks on. He's like flicking them.
And then she notices Manon. Even Aelin's like, she's
fucking hot.
She's hot.
She is the bomb.com.
Her, Aelin, and Rowan.
That is a sandwich that I would like to be a part of.
Fuck. It's too much.
Anyway, we'll leave you with that. So they end up following the witches until they meet up with the royal fam, Dorian and the king.
And the eight-pronged prince.
And the eight-pronged prince with his dick inside them all.
So much penetration.
I just picture, like, you know how, like, there's that thing on TikTok at the moment where it's, like, you know, walking like on a leash, you know, when they're, like, walking their dog. I picture that, but instead of a leash, she's just got a dick in, like, in each of the Anyway, sorry.
Amazing.
Sorry, they're all doing doggy. Anyway, so...
Yeah, they are. Oh, wow. We then swap to Manon's point of view, and, well, she's not really happy to be here. But she does notice Dorian, and he notices her. And it's like, oh, hello.
Seems super interesting.
I'm intrigued to see where this one goes.
Oh, yeah.
But she looks at him, and she's like, fuck off, you fucking fuckface.
Yeah.
And Dorian is, like, probably already in love if it wasn't for the demon inside his mind controlling his thoughts.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But her grandmother is there and she is showing the king her weapon, which for some reason I just thought was her vagina.
She's like, hello.
She's like, have a look at this, Muff.
She's like, you know what we mean by iron teeth? We're actually the vagina dentata. We just got teeth down there.
Hello. What are they called? Those things that you put. I want to have a look at my plate.
A night guard or dentures?
Like a night guard.
You just click the teeth.
I have a night guard, and it doesn't. It's one jaw.
Fuck, that's good. But yeah, so that's awesome. Cool, good weapon.
It's just like the power of the muff compels you.
So the king allied with them. He was like, that muff, oh my God, to die for.
Say less. Say less. Allies of the muff. So the muff monsters.
And the muff monsters, queen of muff.
Queen of Muff.
Manon is keeping watch for her grandmother when she walks to Dorian, and we get this. Hello, Princeling. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Dorian's demon is like in the corner, absolutely screaming, squealing, screaming. He's
vomiting, pissing on himself,
shitting. He's not having a good time.
Stephen the demon is just like, oh fuck.
No, and
this is not what I signed up for.
No, and he keeps saying that she has the eyes of the Valg King. But as she says, "Hello, Princeling," he responds with, "Hello, Witchling." And it's his own voice, but he wants her to kill him, so he like tests the waters, you know? He's like, "I've never been with a witch before." And she's like, "I think not, Prince, but would you bleed red or black?" And then he's like, "I'll bleed whatever colour you tell me to."
I can't.
Sorry?
Fucking hell, Dorian.
That's gorgeous.
Seriously. Aelin and Kale are freaking out because they both heard the switch in his voice, and they're both like, "You got that? I got that. It's time. They have to act now." So Rowan lets out like a caw bird call.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And then all the other birds are just like, hello.
They're like, "Yeah, what's up?" So Adian, Kale, and Nethrin create a distraction, and Aelin and Rowan sneak in and take Lysandra. Aelin watches this exchange between the matron and Manon, where the matron bitch slaps Manon and is basically like, "Do as you're fucking told and stop fucking shit up, you little turd." And Manon's like, "What about the witch covens?" And the matron gives a grand total of 0 shits about the whole witchling business. When Aelin gets to Ness of the Rim and Kale and Lysandra, who have put distance between themselves and the camp, Aelin is like, "Hold on, where the fuck's that second one? Where'd Kale go?"
Oh, for fuck's sakes, Kale.
Kale. I mean, what else could he do at this point that would make us hate him more? Oh, that's right, just jeopardise everyone's safety. I know Aelin goes off on her own plan all the time, but one, she's the goddamn queen. She can.
Yeah,
and two,
and she doesn't
she's never
fuck
putting
up.
Exactly. She's not putting anyone else in danger. She puts herself in danger. I mean,
yeah.
like, there's obviously a little bit of risk involved, but it's not like the whole group must come and rescue me simultaneously from a pack of witches.
But no, Kale's like, "Hold my drink. That sounds like a great event."
Yeah, let me
does.
just do that.
He's gone to kill Dorian himself, but instead of finding the king and Dorian, he's found Manon. Good work. I mean, I don't really blame him, though. I would run to her,
Yeah,
too.
I'd be like, "What's up, Manon? Take me with you.
I'm a part of your coven.
I will be your blood bag. Just do it."
I will, in fact, bleed whatever colour you tell me to bleed to.
Yeah.
Aelin and Rowan and Adian are just running after Kale. They're like, for fuck's sake. And when they find him, Aelin is like, "Take me instead, Manon." And
I love it when
Please.
they like lock eyes for the first time. I'm like, it's a lover's story.
it is when two worlds collide. So Manon pushes Kale off of her and is like, "I'm in no mood for battles or prisoners today." And Aelin is like, "Well, YOLO, I killed that Crayola-loving old witch Baba Yellowlegs. What are you going to do about it?"
I love she could have literally been like, "Thank you, good day." And she's like, "Actually, I'm just going to pull down my shirt." And you get that.
Yeah.
You get the tits.
Can you smell the vab on it? Can you smell the vab? It's actually your dead grandmother.
She doesn't actually have to pull down the shirt the full way, but she still does.
She's just like, boobs. Of course, Manon then launches herself at Aelin and hits an invisible wall, because while Aelin's been like chatting to her, trying to strike up a deal, sort of taunting her with this whole Baba Yellowlegs thing, Manon's like, she would seem really powerful if she wasn't like fidgeting so much. Like she can't like keep her
Stand
feet
still.
grounded. She's just all over the shop. Turns out she was doing secret squirrel business with her feet, and she has drawn herself a little word mark. That means Manon can not pass go. She is in fact stuck. That's all they need, and Aelin, Rowan, and the rest of the Scooby Gang are just, they're running. They get to 2 bridges and a temple full of ruins, and they're just running across this like flimsy little bridge when Manon appears. 2 arrows are then fired, and Rowan protects Aelin and gets an arrow through the shoulder.
Oh, my God.
Worth it, because then he takes his top off. So it's like,
Who's the real winner? So, Rowan took the arrow that was meant for Aylin's heart. She is shook. She is pissed off. But she uses the blood oath to tell him to run. And then she starts fighting Manon. And we get this moment. Aelin Galathinius looked at Manon Blackbeak over their crossed swords and let out a low, vicious snarl. And then the girls are pretty much like evenly matched, and we're all really shook by this. Aelin is like, swords are boring, and palms her fighting knives instead. So Manon just like cracks her neck and just like it turns into the Wolverine. And we get this next quote, which fucking love this. The queen looked at the nails, the teeth, and grinned. Honestly, it was a shame that Manon had to kill her.
Amazing. They fight, and Aelin is basically on the defense, running around the temple ruins, and Manon keeps like bashing into shit, and then Neckmin, turns out that was another Aelin scheme, and the temple roof caves in. Aelin is running, but then she sees Manon barely hanging onto a column, about to fall to her death, and she sees Asterin on the other side of the ravine on her knees, and we get this quote. Manon, I'm not screaming it. She's screaming it. I'm not. I don't think you've ever grovelled for anything in your life, wing leader, the king had said. But there was a black-beaked witch on her knees, begging whatever gods they worshipped. And Aelin is about to run. She's about to leave Manon behind, but we get this brilliant quote. Aelin had felt it before, a thread in the world, a current running between her and someone else. She's felt it one night years ago and had given a young healer the money to get the hell out of this continent. She's felt the tug and had decided to tug back. And here it was again, that tug toward Manon, whose arms buckled as she collapsed to the stone. Her enemy, her new enemy, who would have killed her and Rowan if given the chance. A monster incarnate. But perhaps the monsters needed to look out for each other every now and then.
Something just clicked for me then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The healer from Assassin's Blade.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to the fancy healer place.
Continent.
Isn't that where Kale goes?
Yeah.
Oh, we're linking up. I'm enjoying this.
I was wondering if you'd pick it up before the book, because I didn't. I didn't realise that I started reading Tale of Dawn. I'm like, oh my God, I know that bitch. But yeah.
Wow.
Aelin runs back for Manon and saves her. She pulls her over to where they're all waiting and then runs to Rowan. Manon heard Rowan murmur, "Fireheart," and then she passes out. When Manon wakes up, Asterin and the Wyverns are there, and she realises that she now owes her enemy a life debt. Aelin and the Scooby Gang need to get Rowan somewhere where he can rest, and the closest house is actually Ness of the Rim's family home. This is the family that's taken Fleetfoot in, and so when they arrive, Fleetfoot runs for Aelin, and it's so cute, I want to die.
No.
Nesrin's aunt, or whoever the fuck it is like a midwife and patches up Rowan's injuries, and while this is happening, Kale and Aelin chat. Kale apologises for doing what he did, for risking everyone's lives. He just wanted to end it for Dorian. And Aelin is like, yeah, if it was Rowan in that position, I would have done the same thing, so that's chill. They make a deal that when they free magic, they will go and end it together. And by it, I mean Dorian.
Can we just say, though, if Rowan was in that situation, which is very unlikely because, Aelin and Rowan are both much smarter, she would at least be able to do it without being caught.
Yeah.
He
that's
fucking
Kale's motive. He got caught again.
He's just out here like a neon flashing sign. Capture me.
Take me. The next day they go back to Rifthold with Rowan, and we flash forward into Manon's point of view. She's left that fight and just flung herself into the road in front of the king and Dorian. She tells the king that they'd found rebels in the forest and that they took his prisoner. She says that they slaughtered them all and doesn't tell him about Aelin because of this whole life debt thing. Manon says Dorian's name, and that brings Dorian back to the front, aka the 8 demon dicks are in the back. Manon tells the king that he should send Dorian to Morath. We then learn about the weapon that the king and the matron had been discussing, and it's something to do with mirrors. They are planning to use shadow fire on these witch mirrors, and it's like a giant transportable battle tower, like 100 feet high, lined inside with mirrors of the ancients. Mirrors that were once used to build and break and mend, and they will be used as amplifiers, reflecting and multiplying any power the king chooses to unleash. The quote we get is, "The weapon wasn't for winning glory or triumph or the love of battle. It was for extermination, a full-scale slaughter that would involve little fighting at all."
Oh,
Yikes.
dear. So not the Muff, then?
Not the Muff.
No.
There is
Unless
no
you
Muff.
put the Muff in the mirror and amplified its power.
Just in the sky, like the Batman symbol, just the Muff.
Just the Muff.
Look, we flash to Elid's point of view, and she was trying to escape while the 13 were gone. But her dear old Uncle Vernon was like, "Well, I definitely thought you would try this, so lol."
Got ya.
He's waiting for her, and it's not a good time. Her internal monologue we get a quote of, which is, "Fight, fight, fight," her blood saying. "Do not let him cage you. Your mother went down fighting. She was a witch, and you are a witch, and you do not yield. You do not yield."
Oh,
But it turns out that she does, because she kind of has a fucked up ankle. So she's like, well, mentally I am, not physically. Here I am.
yeah.
So then we find out that Elid's bloodline has magic and witch blood, meaning she is like a special hybrid, which is interesting. Very interesting. Her uncle was like, right, well, you're going to go wait in the dungeons for a special little project I have planned for you in the near future, which sounds delightful. Manon then gets back, and she is called upon by the Duke when she arrives, and he ends up providing her with all of the information that they have gathered. Info about Aelin, and then she's putting everything all together, and she realizes that Aelin and Kale were going to kill Dorian to help him, like save him from Demon Stephen. And she's like, oh, that's what they were going to do. Astrid is then waiting for Manon after the meeting finishes, and she's like, look, we've got to go have a chat. We need to have a quick powwow. I've got some deep thoughts that we need to just air out.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus. So we get this. All right. So Manon learns that basically Astrid was involved in an accident 80 years ago where she fell from her broom during a storm and broke several of her bones. And a hunter, like a mortal hunter, found her and saved her. And he basically kept her in like his cabin, which was in the woods, and not cabin in the woods like the horror movie Cabin in the Woods. No, like a nice cabin in the woods. And this was like for months and months while she healed. And when she was made to return to the coven, she was actually pregnant, and Manon never knew this. So she ended up giving birth to a stillborn, and the matron beat Astrid senseless because of it and took her child away before Astrid could even see it, and branded Astrid's stomach with the words unclean. And we get this quote. She removed her shirt and the one beneath until her golden skin glowed in the sunlight. Astrid turned, and Manon fell to her knees in the grass. There, branded on Astrid's abdomen in vicious, crude letters, was one word: unclean.
Jesus.
Astrid basically never ended up going back to the hunter either. She would fly overhead sometimes, and she would see him as an old man sitting on the porch waiting for something. And you like, yeah, waiting for her to return.
There's something about little old men. They fuck me up.
Well, you would hope that they wouldn't.
But not in that way. But in like, if I just see one out in the wild, I'm just like, oh, bless you. What has happened in your life?
Yeah, I know. Astrid basically turns to Manon and is like, that's why I promised that I would always serve you and not your grandmother. And Manon is like, you're not weak, but we do need to tread carefully around here because shit's fucked, clearly. So let's go. Lego.
Oh, dear. And then we're back with Rowan, and he wakes up and he's not doing so great. He's lost a lot of blood. But do you know what is great? Aelin's there. So he may be losing blood, but he does have a heart on. All is right.
That's where all his blood is.
Yeah.
It's in the
rushing
head of his
to
pee.
that giant, enormous cock.
Woo!
Just thinking about it now.
Let's all take a moment of silence for the giant, enormous cock that
Rowan's giant cock.
Just slinging around.
And potatoes while we're at it.
And potatoes. Rowan overhears something about Aelin just, waltzing in through the front doors, which is like, what's going on? And, that's just what she's intending on doing when she goes to fuck shit up at the palace. But at this stage, Rowan is a bit too sore to care right now, and he asks why she saved the witch, and Aelin said because Astrid screamed Manon's name the way she screamed Rowan's.
Oh, it's so sad. Oh, so they're lovers.
They're lovers.
They're also cousins.
They're cousin lovers.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front door. Shut the cousin door.
Related. We're all
Shut
oh my
the
God.
cousin door.
So Lysandra and Evangeline are at the warehouse. We've travelled on back to Ardalan and Rifthold, and here we are.
Yeah.
And Evangeline is a little terror, but she's also kind of sweet. We like her. For a tiny horse, she's not that bad. And Aelin gives Lysandra a piece of paper, and she's still a little bit shook that they even came to save her to begin with. And now she's just a blubbering mess because Aelin paid off her and Evangeline's debts to Clarice. And I'm like,
they're
oh
not
my God.
tiny whores anymore.
They're no longer tiny whores. Now they're just whores.
By choice.
By
not
choice
occupation.
whores. And you do you. If you want to be an occupational whore, do that. But it's nice not to be owned.
Yeah.
So, yay. Well, then we go back with Manon and Astrid, and they are still on the mountain, but they have a plan. We don't know what that is, but they have a plan that involves going to Rifthold. Very interesting indeed. And then we flash back again with another character, Alide. And she's still in the dungeons. Everyone's forgotten about her.
Yeah, she's just chilling.
She's just like, hello. She's losing hope, which is fair enough. I would be too.
Look, Rowan wakes up in Rifthold and scents another male, aka Lorcan. And he goes up to the roof and Lorcan is like, have you considered my offer? He keeps pulling on all of Rowan's heartstrings by saying shit about Lyria and how Aelin will end up dead because she's mortal. And Rowan pulls out the amulet and ends up making Lorcan swear that with a blood oath that the ring works, and then they do a swappy. When Rowan gets back to the bedroom, Aelin's up and she's like, so how'd it go? And Rowan gives her the ring and says, well, we'll find out because we gave Lorcan that fake amulet and, hid the demon vowed ring inside it, so it makes it a little bit iffy, and we'll see how long that falls into.
It gives off the iffy vibe.
It does. It gives off the iffy.
We'll see how long that immortal Fey warrior is fooled. Turns out longer than you'd think.
I'm not even going to check it. I trust you blindly.
We then flash to Dorian's point of view, and he, like a lead, is losing hope and barely hanging on. The only thing that is keeping him hanging on at this stage is that he's remembering a name. Manon. Not Kale. The boyfriend's been dumped. It's now Manon. At this stage, Kale and Aelin are having another chit-chat because they like to do this now. They're just walking and talking and they're having some discussions about Dorian. Kale apologises again to her for everything and he says that she deserves to be happy and that he understands now, everything, which is, super great for him. Love that you've done all this work. Sorry, we were already there.
Yeah, literally. Fuck, I hate him.
Aelin says that he also deserves to be happy. We get this quote where Aelin says, we do not look back, Kale. It helps no one and nothing to look back. We can only go on. And Kale responds with, what if we go on only to more pain and despair? What if we go on only to find a horrible ending waiting for us? And Aelin says, then it is not the end.
Oh, fucking, she's so much of a better person than what I am, because I would be like, you're a big fuck up and you're a fucking dickhead too. So get out of my fucking face.
Yeah, she's got so much compassion. She'd make a beautiful queen.
Look, Kale and Nesrin are then chatting and we get this absolute, he's like, yeah, you know what? This minimal tension that's between us, what if we act on it? They hold hands and promise that when this is all over, they're going to figure out where home is together. And then we have this moment, which is not funny. I don't want to see a single laugh out of either of you, where Ness of the Rim makes Kale promise to walk out of the castle tomorrow. She literally is like, she did. Promised.
That
And
you
he's like,
walk.
yeah, I'll walk out.
I'll walk out, babe.
That doesn't age well.
No,
it doesn't, because he does not, in fact, do
It
that.
doesn't. Oh, that got me good. That got me really good.
So we flash to Rowan, and he's thinking about how good his shoulder feels, and he hears Aelin enter the room, and then we get this entire interaction, which, again, one of my absolute favourites of the series.
Again, I love Aelin just destroying this man's mental health.
Destroying his willpower inch by inch.
I'm
So
obsessed.
Rowan rotated his shoulder again, and soft footsteps sounded on the carpet. I've been thinking, Rowan started, and then forgot everything he was going to say as he bolted upright in bed. Aelin leaned against the closet doorway, clad in a nightgown of gold, metallic gold, as he'd requested. Can we get this? Are you ready? She took a step. The full scent of her desire hit him like a brick to the face. He was going to rip that nightgown to shreds.
Oh my God.
Yes,
I know.
the God's damned nightgown.
We fucking
Please.
live for the nightgown. So she ends up saying that she wants to kiss him just once. And he's like, that's bleak. Like, come on. But she truly thinks that they're going to die tomorrow. So that's awesome. They kiss and it's beautiful. And he wants more. But she's like, nope, you get the rest when we return tomorrow. And for fuck's sake, Aelin, you did this with Sam. And you're not going to have all the time in the world. And now you're doing it here, all right? Have you not learnt your lesson? Was that torture not enough for you? No?
Get the pain while you can. Just get the pain while you can. If anything, just fuck.
We end up getting these quotes, okay? Are you ready?
Okay.
She smiled at last, and damn if it didn't kill him. The quiet joy in her face. They had walked out of darkness and pain and despair together. They were still walking out of it. So that smile, it struck him stupid every time he saw it and realized it was for him. And then, just to absolutely rip your fucking heart out, you make me want to live, Rowan. Not survive, not exist. Live. I am crying, sobbing, vomiting, screaming, fucking, dying, pissing,
So much fluid.
shitting.
That's a lot.
I'm dead now.
Damn, okay. Look, so we leave dead Georgia on the ground and Aelin is preparing the next day, but she hears some commotion and goes to, like, investigate, and oh my God, there's something written in black blood on the city walls in multiple spots across Rifthold, and it says, "Witch killer, the human is still inside him." Screaming, crying.
Oh, that moment, when I read that, I was like, oh my God, yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So then they're in the sewers, they're ready to go, and the Scooby Gang is saying their goodbyes. Adrian gives her father's sword back, and she looks at them all. Let's go rattle the stars.
Oh,
Screaming.
oh my, that is a tattoo I would have.
Don't
Really?
tell me it was a good
Amazing.
time, Ellie. Do
I'll
not
do
tell me it was a
it.
good
I
time.
don't give a flying fuck that I get tattooed on my body, so let's go.
This whole moment, I read this in like one sitting from here
Yeah.
onwards, and I was
You're
messaging
like, I
you
can't
guys.
put this down. I cannot stop.
I cannot. It was amazing.
Just wait till you get to the end of fucking Empire of Storm.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well, Rowan and Adrian are trotting along through the sewers until they get to the catacombs ready with the hellfire. And they have to like carefully hold it because if they even like tilt it the wrong way, everyone's just going to be dead.
It's reminding me of whatever fire Cersei uses in Game of Thrones that's like green and explodes.
Wildfire.
Yeah, whatever that is, this is the same vibes.
Aelin and Kale are then walking through the streets and we're like, why are you in plain sight? That doesn't make sense. So she has Kale in handcuffs and a dagger to his side. But as they go through the town...
Oh, it's a kinky turn of events.
It is. He's just like, take me to your sex dungeon, Selena. And she's like, yes, I will, Kale. You deserve to be punished, you naughty, naughty boy.
Big yikes, Ellie. Ellie.
Big.
Big yikes.
Then they're approaching the palace and he sees that his men, all of his closest guards,
Gress and Brullo.
Rhys and Brullo, they're dead. They've been tortured and killed, and now they're like impaled on the gate as you walk into the palace. So Kale's like, quick team meeting, the game plan has changed. So they get into the castle gates and we get this quote: "Tell His Majesty that his champion has returned and she's brought him one hell of a prize." And I'm not sure about you guys, but I wasn't buying that the king would be down with this.
Oh, yeah, no.
This was just like an in.
They walk into the castle and get to the throne room. Dorian and the king are there. The king is like, "What's up, dog? Where you been? Where are my dead royals?" And she hands him the rings that Lysandra's jeweler had made. And they're like total replicas of the royals' sealed rings, and tells him that Kale confessed everything and she brought him back as a souvenir. And the king is like, that's very interesting, Selena. Or should I say, Aelin Galathinius.
In Rowan's point of view, they're setting up the Hellfire. The word stone is giving them some major headaches. And then Neck Min, they've actually got some literal aches because the word hounds are there. Lorcan didn't actually kill them. Instead, he actually gave them Rowan's scent. But then we're back with Aelin, and she's like, "I don't give a fuck what you call me, old man. Fuck the patriarchy, let's go." The King of Ardlan is like, "Wow, so weird. Can't believe I was so silly and just didn't recognize you, lols." Then the king sends Dorian down the stairs and starts whipping him with darkness. It's a whole terrible scene. The demon in Dorian is also smiling at the pain. He is like, "Whips and chains do excite me, actually."
Oh, no, not
Rihanna. Stephen's quite into that, actually. He's
not
just like,
Rihanna again.
But then it's like midday and Aelin's like, "All right, it is my time to shine," because this is the whole plan. The clock tower's going to blow up. But indeed it's not. Nothing's blowing up, nothing's changing. She holds out the eye of Elena. The king is like, "Well, hey, I want that."
So Rowan and Aedion, we're back with them, and they are now fighting the 7 word hounds. And they're basically losing, so these bastards must be motherfucking strong. We do have this quote, which is, "The 3 others whirled for Rowan, and there was nothing he could do to get to that fuse, to save the queen who held his heart in her scarred hands."
Screaming, crying, vomiting, shitting, dying, fucking...
Just everything, all of the
welching.
above. It's not okay. We're then back with Aelin, and Aelin is like, "You want this? Hello."
This muff?
You want this muff? Come get it. Well, the king says to Dorian, "Well, off you try. If you want the muff, go taste it." So he's like chasing after her, and Kale's like, "I'm going to stay and I'm going to fight the king." And I'm like, this is a bad plan, Kale. Not entirely sure where you're going to go with that, but okay, buy us some time. Off we go. So Aelin is running like fuck. And Dorian is hot on her tail, and he's like, "I told you you'd regret sparing me." And it's like, oh yeah, oops. She is then running to the highest point of the castle.
Aelin makes it to the uppermost turrets. She makes it basically to the tip top of the castle. Awesome, great. That's good. Then we jump to Kale, and he's fighting the king. And he knows he's not going to win. He knows he's going to die. And he and Aelin basically made a deal that he would buy her time to get Dorian free, and he would sacrifice himself. And we get this quote: "For Ress, for Brullo, for Sorsha, for Dorian, for Aelin, for Aedion, and their family, for the thousands massacred in those labour camps, and for Nesrin, who he lied to, who would wait for a return that wouldn't come, for time they wouldn't have together. He had no regrets but that one."
He had no regrets, but that they didn't have more time together.
Big yikes.
We've heard that quote before.
We have. I have no regret but this one. Kale embraces the darkness as it comes for him because he's ready for it. This next chapter is literally just Dorian kind of remembering who Aelin is, but he doesn't really. It's just trauma.
So Aelin is then trying to talk to Dorian, and she's like, "Your father probably killed Kale, your friend." But Dorian's not there anymore.
Dorian can't come to the phone right now.
So she then even mentioned Sorsha's name, and he doesn't say anything. Then she says, "I came back for you, just like I promised." Well, then he stabs her.
Yeah, so he's like, "I love those feelings, but no."
Have a stab. Then we flash to Rowan, and he's getting badly beaten. But then Lorcan is there, and he kills some of the word hounds, and then he picks Rowan up, and he's like, "Let's go." Aedion lights the fuse, and then they all run like hell. But then Rowan feels pain in his ribs from Aelin's stab wound, and he is screaming, "No!" And like, we all are, Rowan. We all are, because they're mates. You cannot tell me otherwise. Anyway, the clock tower goes boom, and okay, it just goes boom.
Cool.
That's
Just
it.
one boom.
Just one boom, just one singular big boom. Done. So we've gone boom, and they're running from the tunnels. As they're running, they encounter a huge vag army waiting for them. They're all there.
Just multiple giant vages, muffs.
Multiple. Just an army of muff. We flash to Manon and Astrid, who are flying. And when that boom happens, that's magic falling, and they can feel it.
And then Kaltain can feel it as well. And we get this quote from her. Magic was free, not possible, but she could feel it, even with the collar around her neck and the scar on her arm, the loosing of some great beast inside her, a beast who purred at the shadow fire. That's
I love it.
Aelin and Dorian are still toe-to-toe, and then magic hits them, and she's slipped the fucking ring, the Anthril magic ring, onto Dorian's finger when he stabbed her, and it's fighting the demon inside him. They launch their ice and the fire magic at each other.
It's fire and ice. It's beautiful.
Dorian is fighting back, and he can see through his own eyes. We've then got Aedion, Lorcan, and Rowan fighting their way through this army, and we get mentions of Lorcan's magic, which is Aedion hadn't recognised Lorcan's magic as it had blasted from him in the invisible dark winds, and where it struck, soldiers went down and did not rise. They're losing, and the boys are like, well, it's been nice, man. See you on the other side. But then...
Ghost leopard.
Whoa! Lysandra bursts through, and we get this quote. The soldiers in the sewer were screaming as she tore through them. A death for every day in hell. A death for the childhood taken from her and from Evangeline. She was fury. She was wrath. She was vengeance. That's hot.
That's hot, but she was also Batman.
I am Batman! Rowan begs Lysandra to go for Aelin, and she does. There are guards waiting for her when she arrives at the castle, and we get this fucking brilliant quote. Lysandra leapt. The closest guard fired a clean, spiraling shot right for her chest. She knew, with that leopard senses, that it would hit home. Yet Lysandra did not slow. She did not stop for Evangeline, for her future, for her freedom, for the friends who have come for her.
Oh my God. For freedom! When I read this section, the first thing I did was message the girls just 2 words. Ghost leopard. Because I frothed it.
And an arrow comes careening down and knocks the bolt right out of the air, and it's Nez of the Rim.
Yes.
Woo!
Oh, just the gang. Working as one cohesive unit. That's what we love. We're back with Aelin now, and she is begging Dorian to remember. But then the king is there, and she realises he's killed Kale if he's there. And the king's like, so what? And then Dorian is like, wait, what did you say? What did you say about my gay lover? And it's this that snaps Dorian's brain back into action, and he is remembering. He has tears rolling down his face, and he looks at Aelin, his friend who has come back for him, and he snaps the fucking collar in two.
Oh, that's so fucking hot.
It's
just
so
imagining
hot.
him just
Dorian and Aelin are trying to get out of there, but both their powers are dwindling. Except we get this quote. Aelin extended her hand, a question and an offer and a promise. To a better future, she said. You came back, he said, as if that were an answer. They joined hands, so the world ended and the next one began. Love it so much. The king is obviously freaking out, and he tries to attack them. And we get this other quote, the darkness paused for a breath and they erupted.
I'm screaming this entire time. This is one of the most epic scenes.
Rowan and Aedion get out of the sewers, and Rowan switches to bird form and flies to Aelin's aid and sees Aelin and Dorian fighting the king. He has no words for what he sees. And we discover that Dorian's power is infinite. They push the king back, the light dies down, and Dorian's ready to kill his dad. So that seems like a big step. But then the king is like, oh my God, Dorian, is that you?
It's a whole shocker here. So the king basically says that everything he did was to save Dorian. He says that Erewhon is already free, and he has been living in the Duke's body, which is awesome. That guy.
So Duke Huntington?
Look, we were onto something.
Yeah, and he says that he has tried to get Aelin to burn the demon out from him, but it hasn't worked. He also says that Kale is still alive, broken, but alive. And Dorian doesn't believe him, like we all really don't, you know. It's too far gone at this point. And we get this quote, which fucked me up. The crown prince tipped his head back to the sky and roared. It was the battle cry of a god. Then the glass castle shattered.
Oh my god.
It was the battle cry of a god.
Oh my gosh.
Put that on a billboard.
I like it, but I don't like the fact that he might be more powerful than Aelin.
His magic is different. He's got raw
He's built
magic.
different.
He's built
Infinite
different,
raw magic.
So Aelin is falling. They're all falling, to be honest. She throws out her magic one last time as the glass castle is about to smash and basically obliterate Rifthold. It makes a wall of flame and protects it from running out into the city. Just makes like a cool new, it's just a cool new structure. Glass wall seems like pretty chill. Modern architecture, what are you going to do? And we get this quote, which is, a wind shoved against her, brutal and unforgiving, her bones groaning as it pushed her up, not down. She didn't care, not when she yielded the entirety of her magic, the entirety of her being to holding the barrier of flame, now shielding Rifthold. A few more seconds, then she could die. The wind tore at her, and it sounded like it was roaring her name.
Because it was. Well, she doesn't die, and she lands. And then she passes out. When Aelin wakes up, she sees Dorian and Kale laying nearby, and she sees her court, Rowan, Adian, and Lysandra. She approaches the glass wave that is now separating the debris of the castle with the outside world and punches a hole through it with her magic. And the people, aka the peasants, on the other side are like, whoa.
Oh my god!
Aelin says, the king is dead, but the prince is alive. Hello, my name is Aelin, and while the prince is in mourning, I shall be your captain now. With that, she turns around and she's like, good day, all of you. And she walks back into the non-glass part of the castle, and then she just falls to her knees and just starts crying because it's just been a lot, you know. It was
relatable. It's
pretty
stressful.
stressful.
Traumatic time.
Yeah.
Next chapter, and Alid is not all gravy baby. She's not doing well. Her uncle comes to visit her and is like, yo, what's up? The Duke wants to see what's happening with the magic in your bloodline, so he wants you to fuck this guy right here. Okay, Cormac.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yikes.
Manon gets back from her flight and is like, yo, where the fuck is my little human bitch? And so she runs and runs and tries to find her, and then some human woman pops up and is like, yo, they actually took her to the dungeon. Manon goes to find the 13 to go and get Alid out. In Alid's point of view, she is plucked like a goddamn spring chicken ready for fucking, which is terrifying. The guards come to take her, but absolutely not. The Iron Teeth say, no way, Jose. And Manon is there. And we get this quote, which just absolutely killed the heterosexual energy in me. Until a hand with glittering iron nails shoved through the throat of one of them, puncturing it wholly. The guards froze, the one at the door whirling at the spray of blood. He screamed as his eyes were slashed into ribbons by one hand, his throat shredded by another. Both guards collapsed to the ground, revealing Manon Blackbeak standing behind them. Blood ran down her hands, her forearms, and Manon's golden eyes glowed as if they were living embers as she looked at the two guards gripping Alid. As she beheld the disheveled robe, they released Alid to grab their weapons, and she sagged to the floor. Manon just said, "You're already dead, men."
Oh my god, I am so gay.
And then she literally yeets a man's spine. She rips into him, pulls out the spine, and it is at that moment that I pledge myself to the power of Manon's pussy.
Honestly, I pledge allegiance to the pussy.
She scares me and I like it.
Well, she kills the guards clearly and she grabs a lead. And when we get into Manon's point of view, she's just, realizing things like Kylie Jenner. She's realizing that it doesn't make you weak to look after the little guy. She also feels bad for killing the Crocken witches, and she feels bad for what she had to do to the Yellowlegs coven to give them over when she gave them over to the king. And she basically is realizing she loves a lead in like a coven way.
Maybe it's not a coven way. Maybe it is.
Oh,
there's a lot of people out there that ship Manon and a lead together.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, why not? Look, at this point, let's just have an orgy, all of them.
Literally.
Again, me and the entire cast of this book series are having a field day.
Yeah. The biggest white shoes ever. I'll do it.
We have a quote. It was the sound of a lead's weeping, that girl of quiet steel and quick silver wit, who had not wept for herself or her sorry life, only faced it with grim determination that made Manon snap entirely. So maybe there is more to it.
Love it.
We get more information that the 13 were just like, they're going to back her regardless of what she chooses to do from this point on. And she finds out that Aelin has killed the king and the prince is alive. Then when Manon and Alide get close to escaping, Cautain appears.
This whole chapter is my love note to Cautain fucking Rompier. She left with a literal bang. Cautain is like on their side. And we have this moment where Manon dropped Alide's arm. Alide hardly dared to breathe as the witch said, "How long has it been since you destroyed the demon inside that collar, Cautain?" A low broken laugh. A while. Does the Duke know? My dark liege sees what he wants to see. She shifted her eyes to Alide. Exhaustion, emptiness, sorrow, and rage danced there together. She's like, all right, I got a plan, bitches. Alide, give me your robe. Previously, Vernon had said that they looked like sisters, but when Cautain puts on Alide's robes and hides like behind her hair slightly, they look like twins. Cautain cuts open her arm and takes a sliver of stone out from under her skin. Big yikes. She wraps it in a piece of cloth and gives it to Alide with this message. You find Selena Sardothian. Give her this. No one else. No one else. Tell her that you can open any door if you have the key, and tell her to remember her promise to me, to punish them all. When she asks why, tell her I said that they would not let me bring the cloak she gave me, but I kept a piece of it. To remember that promise she'd made me, to remember to pay her for a warm cloak in a cold dungeon.
Oh my god.
Cautain!
I didn't know she had that character development in her, and yet here we
really
are.
didn't. We learn in Cautain's point of view that the Duke called her a living gate. Alide and Manon make their way out, and Cautain pretends to be Alide. So she's taken deep into the bowels of the dungeon where Cormac Demon is waiting, and then she just starts lighting shit up. Her flames were once gold, and we wonder maybe what her heritage is, but we don't know. Now they're black. And she ends up burning the entire place to the ground, herself with it. Manon and Alide and the 13 get out, and when they look down from the skies, a third of Morath has been blown up.
Good on her. Well done, Cautain.
Yeah. She
Living up to her
disappears, becomes like a phantom wind, and just dissolves into ash.
But I love how many men have been possessed by Valg princes that have just been like, oh, well, this is my reality. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to bite your nipples off and I'm going to reclaim this body.
Gone.
So now we're back in Rowan's point of view, and Aelin slept for 3 days. And honestly, that sounds like my heaven. Asleep for 3 days. Just sign me up for that.
Oh, sounds amazing.
When she's awake, Lysandra's over. So they're staying in the stone castle now with Dorian. Oh, guess who's back? Philippa. She won't last very long, but she's here. Fantastic. So Lysandra's there, and there's a knock on the door. She goes to answer it, and guess who? It's Lorcan. And he's a little bit, shitty with them because that's just his general demeanour of life. And Lysandra literally holds up her hand in his face and is like, stop talking. Proceeds to vomit repeatedly all over him. And it's just glorious.
Phenomenal.
Was it necessary? No. Was it
I'm so
worth
glad
it?
It was.
Yes. So then we find out that Kale is alive because Aelin had given him the eye of Elena before she left to be chased by Dorian, and he had worn it, which saved him. We also discover the reason Lorcan came back wasn't just to play hero and save them all. It was because he has realised that Adian is Gavriel's son, and he's like, well, I can't just let him die right now, can I? That wouldn't make me a good cadre member.
There's all this vibe around the fact that, like, the Fae warriors are, like, drawn to powerful leaders, powerful people. And when he's like, yeah, I have to be here to save Gavriel's son, and we're like, sure.
For those that are audio only, Georgia's just wanked into the air.
Wow.
Yeah,
she really
whatever.
has.
So yes, Rowan is tripping over what Aelin did. He is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then he's also like, Dorian's power is fucking crazy, raw magic, so it can be anything, super cool. But like, Aelin was reckless, and he goes to like glare at her, and she just glares right back. But they end up talking about everything that happened, and they were both really worried about one another, and we get this fucking fucker. So everyone, put your bonnets back on.
Bonnets are engaged.
You make me want to live too, Aelin Galathinius. Not exist, but live. I spent centuries wandering the world, from empires to kingdoms to wastelands, never settling, never stopping, not for one moment. I was always looking towards the horizon, always wondering what waited across the next ocean, over the next mountain. But I think that whole time, all those centuries, I was just looking for you.
Because they're mates. He's been looking for her this whole time for centuries because they're mates.
It's beautiful. They kiss. I love it.
Oh, don't ignore me.
And like, Adian goes to speak to them, but Rowan like slams the door in his face with his wind, so it's quite funny. And then Lysandra is behind him and is like, that love is what I'm going to have one day. And that's beautiful and very cute, and we love that. And we also find out that Lorcan stole the ring back, so that's cool. And then Aelin goes to visit Dorian. So just to summarise.
Yeah, Aelin goes to speak to Dorian, and Dorian has obviously had a bit of a rough time. Aelin's like, let's light up the darkness, bitch. And he's like, I'm still coping with what's happened, but sure. Dorian then goes to see stale lettuce. When Kale wakes up, Dorian gets to his knees next to the bed and takes his hands, and we finally get my gay love story. The quote we get is, there were no sounds, no words in him as he found Dorian seated in a chair beside the bed. Bruised shadows were smudged beneath his eyes, his hair was unkempt, as if he'd been running his hands through it. But beyond his unbuttoned jacket there was no collar, only a pale line marring his golden skin, and his eyes, haunted but clear, alive. Kale's vision burned and blurred. She had done it. Aelin had done it. Kale's face crumpled. I didn't realise I looked that bad, Dorian said, his voice raw. He knew then that the demon inside the prince was gone. Kale wept. Oh. And then things are not all gravy baby for Kale because he's paralysed from the legs down. They were able to heal part of him, so he would have been fully quadriplegic, but they were able to heal some of it, but no, he cannot walk. Dorian wants him to go to the southern continent, to the Torre Chesme, Renesmee.
I'm pretty sure it's Torre Chesme.
No, Renesmee.
It's Torre Renesmee.
We'll figure out how to say that by Tower of Dawn, it's fine. And we get this quote, I'm not leaving you, not again. Dorian's mouth tightened. You never left me, Kale. He shook his head once, sending tears slipping down his face. You never left me. Nestrin comes in and is like, I'm vomiting. Sorry. I thought I was Kale's girlfriend, but obviously you guys have a thing going, so I don't want to touch that. Dorian says that Nestrin is captain of the guard, and Kale is now the king's hand for all that wanking off. Oh, God. Kale and Nestrin will go to the southern continent together. Super interesting.
That sounds like a bad idea. He's like, yes, I'm going to point you essentially the two highest ranking people in my court. But off you go.
Yeah. Alid is with the 13 and the witches are going back to Morath, but Manon is telling Alid to go north. Find Aelin, Adian and Ren and be with her people. Manon says she will tell the Duke that Alid was killed in the blast. So Alid goes on her little trek north, which seems like a terrible idea given that, you know, she's kind of on her own and her ankle's fucked.
She's
but, you know, put her in an off-road terrain seems like a great idea.
Send her on her way. Off your trot.
So Sandra and Aylin are then chatting, and Aylin is like, I have got a present for you. It's a ring. And Lysandra's like, are we getting married? I'm so young. And Aylin's like, no, but I have this land that no one lives on, and it's mine, but it needs a ruler, and it's yours. And Lysandra cries and accepts. So now she's a landholder.
She's a lady.
She's the lady of Calabar.
It's beautiful. So Dorian, Adian, Rowan and Lysandra and Aylin have dinner together. It's just what dreams are made of.
Hey now.
Hey now.
This is what dreams are made of.
Aylin says, to a new world, and Dorian says, to freedom.
Look,
beautiful.
Manon and the 13 are back in Morath, and the Duke is like, get ready, Grandmummy, it's me, Anastasia is coming. Got it in. I just said once.
You did, and I missed that. I just missed it.
I just slipped it on in there. Manon threatens Vernon on her way out, and we love that energy. Manon then speaks to Astrid and asks her what it was like to be in love. And we get this quote. It was like dying a little every day. It was like being alive too. It was joy so complete it was pain. It destroyed me and made me and forged me. I hated it because I knew I couldn't escape it and knew it would forever change me. And that witchling, I love her too. I love her in a way I cannot describe other than to tell you it was the most powerful thing I've ever felt. Greater than rage, greater than lust, than magic.
I'm screaming.
Oh my God. Dorian, Kale and Aylin all then have a chat to the New World besties. Aylin asks Kale to be an ambassador for Terrasen to make friends and allies in the southern continent, and he agrees. And then Aylin and the Scooby-Doo gang are off to Terrasen. Dorian, Kale and Nez of the Rim have their goodbyes, and then Kale and Nez of the Rim go off south to Renesmee. It's bittersweet, very sad, but I'm sure they'll have their own exciting journeys that we will encounter in later books.
Tower of Dawn.
Oh, so Empire of Storms is like this crew, and then that's that crew. Mm-hmm. And that's why you can read them
at the same time.
That's why people do the tandem read, which we're not because we don't have the time for that.
So Dorian wakes up in the night after everyone's gone. And that's the worst feeling when you've had like a full house and everyone's so happy.
Yeah.
And then everyone leaves and then you're just like, oh, I'm alone. And plus trauma with the collar and all the shit. So he then goes out onto his balcony and he sees Abraxos with his socks on.
With his socks on!
Just sitting outside and Manon on top, and he lifts a hand in greeting, but she flies away. And a name echoes through his head again. And again, our boy's in love.
It
didn't take him long. It did not take him long. He's in fact maybe had 4 days without having a collar on his neck since Saoirse was beheaded. And yet here we are.
But at least he's like a changed man now. He's more like, you know,
I've
angry
been changed
and like
by trauma.
Yeah, like vengeful, you know, he's like...
He is. He's a little bit sexier now.
Yeah.
Well, that's Daddy good. Dorian now.
Daddy Dorian. He's got daddy issues, that's for sure.
No, fuck yeah, he does.
Well, then we jump back into Manon's point of view, and she also just might be a touch smitten with Princeling. And interesting. So she doesn't know why she went to visit, but she did. And it was, you know, probably just to see if he was okay. And then she thinks of hope for the future.
We love her thinking of hope, considering she'd never done it before. So Aylin and the Scooby Gang have arrived to Terrasen. It smells of pine and snow. And we get this quote. How has she never realised before that Rowan's scent was of Terrasen?
No.
Of home?
I mean, how has she not realised that before?
To be fair, she hasn't been there in 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Anyway, so how has she never realised that Rowan's scent was of Terrasen, of home? Rowan. He says as she's thinking this, I feel as if I've been looking for this place my entire life.
Of course you fucking have, because you're mated to their motherfucking queen, Rowan.
I just love it. It's so
I love
beautiful. And it's like he has been soul searching himself, because we've seen her story and what she's gone through to get to this point. But he's gone through something that has been extremely traumatic as well. And
he's
now
gone through like 500 years of trauma.
Yeah. And now he feels like he's been looking for this place his entire life, and it just makes me want to die. So we end the book with, at long last, Aelin Galathinius was home. Screaming, crying, throwing up, vomiting, dying, shitting, pissing, queefing.
Oh, God, trauma.
All of the things.
Music references.
A music reference that is only fitting for this book is Ruelle, because she does fantasy like no other. So her song Monsters is just the epitome of Aelin in like her glory revenge days of like going back to Rifthold and just fucking everything up.
For fan art, we have Mftfernandez has done a Rowan and Aelin of their reuniting, where she's got the short red hair, because remember that was a thing. Beautiful, amazing, phenomenal. We then have Niru.skyart, who's done this really awesome Manon. Then we've got Emsdrawsthings, which is Aelin washing Rowan's hair and lavender soap. And then we've got Dominquewesson, who's done a Rowan, which is gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
And then just for trauma, we have 3 by Alicemariapower, who has really done the Lord's fucking work here. So we have Aelin and Rowan in the theatre when she is showing Rowan how she plays the piano. And then we have Aelin at Sam Cortland's grave.
Oh, that's rough. Oh, the pebbles.
The pebbles!
looks like a dog poo.
They're in fact not throwing it at people. No, it does look like a turd.
Fucking dog poo. Why did they do that?
There is also
It's
one
beautiful.
out there by Charlie Bowater of the reuniting that is like one of my favourites of all time, but I am struggling to find it.
So next up, we've got Empire of Storms, bitches.
Oh my
Buckle in.
God.
Strap in
Buckle
your titties.
They're strapped.
Oh.
They're strapped and ready.
So just make sure you tune in for that. It is really fucking late, so we're going to wrap this up hell quick because I'm tired as all hell. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. We've got YouTube, we've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, we've got majority of the socials. Go over to Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all that jazz. Rate us 5 stars. If you don't rate us 5 stars, Ellie will come for you on vodka. So
I will.
Oh my God.
So, yes, thank you very much for listening, and we will catch you next week for the beginning of Empire of Storms.
Bye.